today in the TACCOM HQ workshop, and I'm going to give you a rundown on how to use an alphateric to enhance your Battlefield Zero. So this is a really popular military Battlefield Zero, the 25 meter Zero, which also happens to get you to about 300 meters. You can get danger space out to about 500 meters. This one in particular is again in 7.5 MOA. So if you remember, it's the same one we did for the 50 meter Battlefield Zero, which if I'm a consumer tells me that I can use the same piece of glass for potentially 2 different guns and 2 different optics, 2 different Zeros. So what the 300 meter Zero is doing for us without the alphateric is allowing us to hold here from, again, like about point blank range minus your bore height offset to about 300 meters. We're going to hold here, we're going to hit somewhere in the silhouette. If I am holding at this point of aim 25 meters, I'm going to hit here. At 50 meters, I'm going to hit about, probably here. That was an eyeball, I don't know for sure, but it's not going to arc too high at 50. At 100 meters, your bullet is still rising, and it's going to impact about here at 100. At 200 meters, without the alpha, bullet is again still rising. It's going to impact about here. This right here is the reason that some people favor a 50 meter Zero. If an enemy were lying in the prone at 200 meter Zero, at 200 meters, and you aimed here, look at this. That means I'm going to hit over his head. He's safe. So, backtracking, if I'm aiming here, at 300, the bullet has now dropped, and it'll intersect point of aim, relative point of impact at 300 meters. At 400, however, the bullet it's losing speed, so it's dropping faster. So we've got an impact at 400 at about belly if you're holding center mass. Again, pretty usable. So it makes sense to be, so if you want sort of a one-size-fits-all Zero, 25 meters, pretty tough to beat. At 500, however, it's going to be dropping 30-something inches, and we're going to be hitting the dirt if we're holding a center mass. But we know it's far anyway, we just favor high. If we aim right here near top of the head, we should be hitting somewhere near belt line at 500. That concludes the Zero run through without the alpha. We're going to go ahead and do with the alpha now. I got a 7.5 MOA vertical raise, and again what this does is it raises your target image. So you instinctively, in order to hold the dot on the bad guy, you raise your muzzle so where you can actually still see the dot on the bad guy's chest, which accounts for the drop of the bullet over range. At 400 meters, as we see right here, your 300 meter Zero is still pretty usable. Don't really flip this up, leave it out. But at 500 meters, that's where this thing is going to become clutch. Because 7.5 MOA brings your 500 meters to your point of aim. That's a 5. So now we aim here with the alpha, with a 25/300 meter Zero, we're going to impact right there. At 600 meters, by the way, you remember that if we aimed center mass with 500, we were dropping off the target on the without the alpha. We had to aim here to get a hit at belt line. So this 600 meters was like an afterthought. You were never going to get 600 meters. 600 meters totally unattainable with 300 meter Zero. But with the alpha, if we hold here, we can now hit. Shoot. Look at this. Higher than the 300 meter without sans alpha shot by about 6 inches. So this is your 500 meter without alpha, this is your 600 meter with. That is if held high enough. This is a 4 MOA center dot. I think the circle is going to be about yay big, so put it on his head. That's a pelvic girdle shot. That's an incapacitated and immobilized target. Essentially, he's out of fight. Thanks for listening. Subscribe! Don't they all say that?